every year for the past decade or so, the best thing in my life has been going down to Cabo for Sammy's birthday bash. I was just tooling around on Facebook, and this ad came up for Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, and I thought, oh my God, that's like got to be the most incredible experience ever. But you know, immediately in the back of my head, I was like, well, you don't sing, and you don't play an instrument. You really don't have rhythm, and truthfully, you know, my best musical talent has always been buying concert tickets and kind of just jumping up and down in the front row. And but I had a decoration of a guitar that I had bought years ago and was sitting there, and I was like, you know, this sounds too incredible. I'm gonna do this, and so so I picked up that guitar, and that was 4 months ago, and I haven't put it down since. And coming to the Sammy Hagar Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, you know, means Eddie Van Halen songs. And so I pick up this guitar that I've never played and trying to play. I mean, every day I wanted to throw the guitar out the window because trying to learn Eddie Van Halen, I figured, is like sitting down to a piano and say, oh, I'm going to play a Beethoven concerto today. And but I stuck with it. I did online lessons. I hired once a week. I'd go to my guitar teacher and we'd jam. And but I had never played live in front of anybody or with anybody. You know, I'd put on YouTube and put on a concert and pretend I was playing there. But then 2 nights ago, at the end of the night, I had only learned 5 songs to come to this camp, and I had my 5 songs down, and Sammy's guitar player, Vic Johnson, was up here, and he's like, well, why don't we play Why Can't This Be Love? And I was in the back, I'm like, that's one of my 5 songs, so I ran up and plugged in and got so excited. I'm there jamming with Vic, and in the middle of the song, I look down and my hand is doing this. It was so much adrenaline, and I missed the pre-chorus, but the guitar solo, I was back on it, and I floated right off the stage. But once I got up there on stage, it was like everything came together. I was in my element, and you know, I don't think I'm going to be able to turn back from this. So what I would tell people if they were interested in coming to Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, but they had concern that they weren't good enough, or that they wouldn't be able to perform under the pressure, is that and I don't know if you remember the deer in the headlight looks I had the first day when I walked in, and I just felt you know, a bit intimidated, but the counselors here are incredible, and they will help you play the music to your ability, and they will blend you into the band. And I remember looking at my band, who all had been playing a lot longer than me, and thinking that I was you know, kind of a bit of a poser sitting in. But then, you know, once they got to the song that I knew, and all of a sudden I'm telling them, okay, you need to do this and you need to do that, and I'm going to be jumping up and down over here on this part. But I really think it's something that anybody can do. You just have to set your mind to it. I mean, you do need to put in a little bit of practice, but for any talent level, they will work with you, and you'll have the time of your life. I mean, I'm just going to float right out of this room.